Hello, this is Kelso with the Grim Reapers, and I'm here to conduct a hardware review on two items that just arrived. The items are pre-production models of two new products from Winwing. Winwing manufactures FAA Level 5 simulators for the Cessna 172, amongst other general aviation simulator products. They introduced their first DCS-based FA-18C HOTAS system earlier this year. Today's arrival included their new FA-18C Takeoff panel and Combat Ready panel. For you F-18 fans, these items are a natural progression in providing additional functionality to your flight sim experience. Packaging. The panels arrived in a sturdy box, and all items were packaged carefully enough to arrive undamaged. Here's a view of the panels and parts. Customers may purchase each panel separately or as a pair. Each panel has enough brackets and hardware to mount them in several ways. 1. Purchase both and attach them together as an integral stacked unit. 2. Attach them separately with individually included desk mounts, say if you'd prefer to place them on different sides of your workstation. 3. Place them on a desktop with the included supply of two-sided tape. Each panel has two angled feet to provide adequate positioning for this method. Stacked mount assembly. The shipping package did not contain the assembly instructions for the mounts, as that document is still being designed. I can tell you that if there was one correct way to assemble the mounts, I was able to demonstrate 4 incorrect ways during my discovery process. External observation. At closer inspection, the construction is sturdy metal, finished screws, and all of the attached hardware was tight and secure. The panels included approximately 3 meters or 6 feet of USB cable. I was able to see 3 wires just inside the enclosure alongside the gear handle. One wire would brush the handle stem during actuation. I was assured by Winwing the production models will have all wires stowed in a safe and unviewable area within the enclosure. Upon startup, the panel's backlit text illuminates in the familiar green color, matching other flight control systems we've seen before. Accessing DCS control options displayed both panels identified as Takeoff panel and Combat Ready panel. These panels are not pre-configured at startup and require binding of each control. This makes sense because the panels can be used across other DCS modules. Binding the panels was generally straightforward, with some exceptions. If you want to use the F-18C's special lighting features and functions to a few controls, 3 out of the 35 total to be exact, the panels need direct real-time DCS access and feedback to function to the fullest. To do so requires logging into Winwing's SimApp program. Your SimApp login will be the same as your Winwing account name and password should you choose to place an order. This was new to me, and it didn't take much time to complete. I understand that Winwing's HOTAS customers are familiar with this process. Shortly, Winwing will post an instruction video for SimApp on their website for this purpose. The SimApp program is not required on other DCS modules. Okay, we've got it plugged in. I'm flying altitude hold. I've got it paused currently. I've got the speaker on. I'm using a cell phone. I don't have 2 cameras, so I can't do dual in-game and out. So I've got the speakers up loud enough. I think you'll be able to hear ordnance drop when I jettison it. The program is running, so we get the additional in-transit light for the gear. We'll get lights for air-to-air, air-to-ground, ALR 67 power, and the different stations that we're going to jettison. You can see the buttons. I don't have to tell you what they are. I'm not going to hit this, but maybe when I get in game I'll unlock it and it'll scream at me. The buttons are positive. These 2 are sliders. You can do anything you want with them. Center stops for both of them. Parking brake, right left turn, resting hook, flap is a 3 position, a little flat one. We'll arm it I'm not going to hit that even when paused. I'll forget it. 3 position for FLIR, LTD, LST, heading, left, right, course, right, left, barrel altitude, radar altitude, comm buttons, push to activate and turn to preset channels, push, turn, dispenser bypass, ECM electronic countermeasures are currently not functioning. There's actually no binds for this. Hopefully when ED gets around to giving us the ECM, we'll be quietly waiting. INS, all these buttons, let me give you a view of this. Positive, solid. Radar, there was a malfunction in radar. It actually went over to emergency but would not unlock. I shut everything off, unplugged everything, and went into the game, and with the mouse still had an issue of trying to get this to unlock. So I think that's something to do with ED in this particular point. I've never used unlock in emergency in 2 years of flying the Hornet. So use it to operational and just turn it back. So I'll start the game or resume, and we'll push some of these lights up. Okay, you could probably hear that in the background. Air to air. Got to push it down hard. ALR's on. Stores. Left fuselage missile, right fuselage missile, rack launcher. We're on stores. Let's see if we can hear it. I just checked and it was dropped. And here we go. We'll see the in-transit light for the gear. And it's going to go off in the game, and it's off here. That's the information it's got to pick up from the game. Gear up, in transit. That's about all. And other than the items I've already stated, I'll mention that in pros and cons. Pricing. Pricing for purchase of both panels as a 2-panel kit is estimated to be around $299. Shipping cost if purchased as a pair is estimated to be approximately $30 to the continental US and somewhat less expensive to Europe. Pros versus cons. Pros. The panels are of solid construction. The layout of operation critical controls is good to excellent. The hardware appears of high quality. Audio and tactile feedback is positive. Readability and illumination appear good. Mounting hardware is solid, and both panels stacked do not shake upon actuating any of the controls. The price appears at par with similar competitive products, though these panels appear to go beyond most in additional features. Cons. CMAT program is required for the F-18 special lighting features, the emergency brake, hook bypass, and launch bar. This is optional as it is not necessary for any other DCS modules. In the combat ready panel, the radar rotary works perfectly all the way to the emergency stop, but it refuses to return to unlock. I tried in-game, in cockpit, using the mouse, and had a similar response. To recheck as a control, I disconnected the panel, restarted my computer in DCS. I found the same behavior occurred in cockpit using the mouse. Combinations of right-click, left-click, scroll wheel failed to return to unlock reliably. When it did work, I had no idea how it unlocked because I was using a cacophony of mouse scroll wheel pressures. In my opinion, this appears to be a DCS issue at the moment. I stopped troubleshooting this button after about 10 minutes because I've never used the emergency switch in 2 years of flying the Hornet module. And lastly, the ECM electronic countermeasures rotary is currently non-functioning in-game because there are no control options available in DCS for ECM. As soon as DCS upgrades the F-18 to include our long-awaited ECM use, this switch will be quietly waiting to function. Summary. For immersion, I can say that I appreciate the ability to stay as far away from using the mouse in any simulation. I've had the luck and pleasure of flying many types of real aircraft and simulators in my life, including the A-18C Weapons Tactical Trainer. Taking my hand off the controls to play with a mouse is not natural, and a tactile feedback is vastly superior. I can say that overall I'm impressed with the panels and feel that anyone should consider them as a potential addition to their rig. This is Kelso, and I thank you for your time.